What is up, humans of the cardboard? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we are looking at new heroic support, heroic challengers in 2021. What the hell is going on right now? Everything's crazy. This is always a deck I wondered about. I never put on any of like my top 5 or 10 lists when I would talk about like archetypes that should get support. They're always something I thought about but never really felt strong enough about to throw them in there. They've always had cool designs, but they didn't feel like they had a solid base to really go anywhere with. All of their cards have been super outdated because like heroic challenger or whatever it's called, heroic captain, whatever, heroic whatever, Excalibur was a legit win condition when he was around, but not he doesn't do anything now for today's standards. Maybe he clears a Dragoon after you've already baited it. But yeah, anyway, today we've got 5 new cards, a spell, 2 Exceed monsters, and 2 main deck monsters. These guys have always been the ugly little brother of heroes. Like, heroes will always be cooler, always be more interesting, but it doesn't mean these guys can't be cool. It's just that, like, heroes are, like, really cool. Anyway, let's get into it. Starting off here, we start off with Heroic Challenger Knuckle Knife. I love the name. This is a level 1 Earth Warrior. They're also Earth Warriors, so maybe there could be some Goki combination there. Maybe even potentially Infernoble combination there. I mean, just if they have generic good extenders here that can work with like Isolde, like maybe there's something here. Anyway, this guy is a level 1 Earth Warrior, like I said, 600 attack, 200 defense, 2 hard once per turn effects. The first one reads, if you control a heroic monster except a level 1 monster, you can special summon this card from the hand. Not bad for the deck. I mean, that's just a simple little extender. My one question here, though, is he is level 1, and this deck is an Exceed deck, so you want to match levels, and I think they want to make 4s and sometimes higher ranks? Question mark? Second effect reads, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can target a warrior monster you control. The level of that monster or this card becomes the level of the other, but you cannot declare attacks for the rest of the turn except for Exceed. Okay, so like I said, this card was weird because it didn't do anything with levels, but now it does do that, which is really cool. So, very nice. He's gonna set, I mean, he jumps on the field and then immediately sets you up for either a rank 1 or a rank whatever play, which is cool because there are some interesting rank 1s now, especially with Zeus stuff existing. So that already, Zeus just being a card already makes heroic challengers a little more interesting. Same thing with like potentially F-Zero Utopic Draco Future, and also stuff like Vespinato, right, and generic Exceeds that exist. So yeah, not terrible. Next up here, we have our other new main deck monster. This is Heroic Challenger Morningstar. I love his weapon. I love how like symmetrical it is and shiny. It's awesome. Anyway, he's a level 4 Earth Warrior. 1500 attack, 1300 defense, 3 hard ones per turn effects. Okay. So first effect reads, if you control 2 or more warrior monsters, special summon this card from the hand. Okay, jumps out on the field. I don't love that it needs 2 warriors. Obviously, this becomes so much more interesting if it only needs 1 warrior on the field as far as a generic extender for stuff like blah, blah, blah. What am I thinking of? Like Goki and Infernoble Knights, stuff like those I sold abusing decks. Second effect, if this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 heroic spell or trap from the deck to your hand. Okay. I don't know if they had access to search their spells and traps before, but that's really nice. I like that it's normal or special, so you don't even have to use his first effect. He's already a Stratos as is, even if you just normal summon him. That's really cool. He doesn't search monsters, though, so he doesn't get this guy to just like immediately jump on the field and be a 1-card Exceed, but okay. Third effect, if this card is in your graveyard and you have 500 life points or less, whoa, that is low. That is danger zone right there. You can special summon this card, but its effects are negated. Why add to negate its effects? Why can't you summon it back and search a spell or trap? Come on. Still, it's a free body, and the fact that the card's already a Stratos with an extending effect that's not too shabby kind of just makes it so that this effect is just icing on the cake. If it does come up, it could be super clutch. Who knows? But I think I like this effect I like this effect because it's in theme, right? These are the heroic challengers. Nothing's more heroic than being back against the wall. You're about to lose a duel, and then you make an amazing comeback, and that's what this effect could potentially Facilitate. Very cool. I think this card's really good. This card's really good for the archetype. We'll see if it has a little more generic application as we go. Next up here we have Heroic Champion Clyome Solias. Interesting. He's a rank 4 light warrior. You ever heard that one before? 2,500, 2,000 attack. This is literally Utopia. And he takes any 2 level 4 warriors. So he is not completely generic. He does need warriors. His second and third effects are hard once per turns. First effect reads, monsters your opponent controls cannot target other monsters for attacks. Whatever. Second effect, you can pay life points so that you only have 500 left. Oh, that sets you up for potentially multiple like graveyard effects, and that 1,000 Blades is in this deck, so that's another effect that could trigger 1,000 Blades in grave. At the start of the battle phase this turn, the attack of one face-up monster you control becomes doubled. Okay, all right. So this is like just like trying to be a quick win condition, because he can at least buff himself to 5,000 or something bigger than him, even bigger than that. That's very interesting. Interesting. This card's really interesting to me. Okay. And the third effect, when an attack is declared involving an opponent's monster, you can attach one material from this card, then target a face-up monster your opponent controls. This card gains attack equal to that monster's until the end of this turn. Okay. I mean, like, he himself doesn't seem like he's going to be OTKing, because he'd have to go, like, even if he used his second effect to make himself 5,000, and then he attacks an opponent's monster, and then lowers the opponent's monster to, or buffs himself to gain the same amount, you're just dinking over for 5,000. So you would have to have 3,000 damage elsewhere, but it's 2021. That's not the hardest thing to do, especially since his second effect could facilitate summoning another Exceed monster. That could easily be that. Interesting. Very, very interesting. This card's not amazing to me, but his effects are interesting. I really don't know enough about Heroic Challenges to know what other cards exist already that make this and all the other cards like good or not. Next up here, we have Heroic Champion Jarn Griper? I don't know. He's a rank 1 light warrior. Okay, like I said with the first monster, having a rank 1 means that he has something a little, maybe an archetype interesting monster to make. Rank 1 light warrior, 700, 1,800, so decent booty. 2 level 1 warriors, okay, so not completely generic, does need warriors, but still pretty good. Second and third effects are hard once per turn. The first effect reads, the first time each warrior monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect each turn, it is not. Okay, so if you can summon this with other stuff, your opponent has to worry about dealing with him if they want to destroy anything else, because he is going to be annoying. He's kind of like Banelix, but he has to be on the field. I think it'd be a little better if this card was a combo facilitator, but also had the Banelix effect in grave. That way you could go through him and get him in grave, and then he still is getting you value, but okay, decent protection effect. Second effect, you can attach 2 materials from this card, then target a 1 level or rank 4 warrior in your grave. Special summon it, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to that monster's original attack. Ooh, that's permanent. So you can attach 2 and revive like our new guy, the level 4. If you haven't used his effect this turn, get a search and you gain 1,500. So you then become 22, and that's permanent, which is not bad. The permanent is definitely nice. Definitely welcome for this card. Very weak. But yeah, nice extension. Also, potentially, if you could put another rank 1 in the grave, you could revive it with this card and then just make yourself a nice little easy... Oh, it has to be a level or rank 4 warrior. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. But still, it's an extender. And the third effect, when an attack is declared involving an opponent's monster, you can gain life points equal to half of its attack. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I mean, especially since you already have an effect now that lowers yourself to 500 life points. It may be nice to have an effect that can potentially get you at least out of like a super, super scary danger zone where your opponent can kind of poke for game with certain cards, right? So this card's interesting. I think the Exceeds are very interesting. I just don't know if they have like, they don't seem amazing, but they're interesting. They could potentially do it if they have like specific synergy with other stuff. And the last card we have here is Heroic Envoy. This is a normal spell card. His first and second effects are hard once per turn, of course. The first effect reads, add 1 heroic monster from deck to hand. Oh, it's just Rota. Cool. And the second effect, if you have 500 life points or less, you can banish this card from grave to target a heroic card in grave and add it to your hand. Okay, really cool. Another card that just like if it ends up in grave and you get yourself down to 500, boom. And wait, can you use both in the same turn? Yeah, you can use both in the same turn. So if you use this to go through the combo, if you use this to then like go through Morning, so here's what I'm saying. Morningstar is already a 1 card rank 4, right? And it gets you, actually it's more than that because you can go Morningstar gets you the spell search your Knuckle Knife, summon Knuckle Knife, then use his effect to make himself a level 4. So you can make this guy. You can use this guy. Oh, but if it's not turn 1, you can't even do this. Okay, so this is any turn but turn 1. He would then use his effect, cutting your life points down to 500, which would mean you would be able to use his effect to come back from grave, and you'd also be able to use this to get a card back from grave. Any heroic card. You could get like Knuckle Knife back, but it's not necessarily another rank 4 immediately. I'm interested. I think this could be something interesting. So this guy is at least 2 warriors on the field as a normal summon, and it's also an extender. So maybe this is something to look at for maybe like Goki type decks. I don't know. Goki, maybe even Infernobles, but I don't think this card is beating out Connector, unless like Connector got banned at some point or Dolphin got banned. Maybe you could like look at something like this, but for now I think it's just more so heroic challenger stuff, but not the worst stuff in the world. They got a Rota now, they got a monster that searches their spells and traps. I don't even know what their spells and traps do. They've already had cards that are interesting, specifically 1,000 what is it, 1,000 needles, no, 1,000 knives, what's his, I don't remember his name, 1,000 blades. Right, so they already have some really interesting cards. It's another monster. If you get it engraved and you use this guy's effect, you're going to be able to like summon a lot of, you're going to be able to like spam the board with more level 4s, which is cool. So who knows? I have no idea where this deck will go, but I think it's interesting for sure. So yeah, I'm no connoisseur of heroic archetype, as you guys could probably guess, but feel free to let me know down below if there's any specific synergies that these cards have with pre-existing stuff that you think might be worth noting. I'd definitely be curious to hear about that, and also your just overall thoughts on how good this support is. But I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Thank you so much for watching. This is a cool little reveal for Dimension Force. I think I'm more so into the zombie stuff, but this is, you know, it's cool. I can't wait to see what like new archetype comes out of the set though. I'm waiting for that with bated breath. But I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all Yu-Gi-Oh card reveals and reviews and all that shiz. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.